Welcome to Opportunity Attacks! This is a D&D 5th edition actual play of my version of Keep on the Borderlands, the famous introduction module published in 1979 written by the one and only Gary Gygax. Keep on the Borderlands was many players' first experience with Dungeons & Dragons, so I thought it appropriate to be the first game to share with you. If you have played Keep on the Borderlands yourself, this actual play is still worth listening to. My version is very different than the booked adventure. I still kept the framework of the module intact. However, I gave it a much-needed story overhaul. This creates a much more detailed sandbox adventure with many more side quests than was given in the sparsely detailed original version. So, what sets Opportunity Attacks actual play apart from others that you might have listened to? And why should you give Opportunity Attacks a listen? One, I have good audio. This is not a Skype game. I didn't just slap an omnidirectional microphone in the middle of the table. Everyone's talking into their own microphone, and the music and descriptions are played through the mixer. 2, I have exceptional role players, and I also have DM'd for about 2 decades. 3, you will always know where the players are. For overland travel, there will be a map and an indicator telling exactly where they are and where they're going. Cities will have their own maps, of course, and combat is represented with fully painted models and pre-prepared battle maps, and for a story that is intriguing and dynamic. So thank you very much for listening, and please like and subscribe so you know when new videos are posted. So without further ado, I hope you enjoy Keep on the Borderlands. Before we begin, let's introduce the cast of characters. Keyleth is a half-elf with long, neatly kept, light brown hair and a well-trimmed beard. He is average height for a half-elf, yet towers over his other 3 companions. On first impressions, you can tell he keeps himself and his garb clean and tidy.
My name is Keyleth. I cast all of the names aside the way my father cast me aside. I was better for it. My noble upbringing gave me an education, but no education was better than fending for myself on the streets of Baldur's Gate. There I learned if they don't see you coming, you've done it right. Imagine my surprise when an old man saw me about to steal from some big shot gambling den. His name was Bernard. He stopped me from doing something stupid and gave this half-elf a righteous life worth living.
Durhale is a 12-year-old boy with dark brown hair and loose-fitting traveler's clothes. His eyes are blue and oddly piercing for a boy of his age.
You can call me Durhale. I'm an orphan from Waterdeep. If you don't mind, I can make this easier. There we are. Much better. Do not worry. Most humans my age cannot enter the minds of individuals such as yourselves. I am what you call a prodigy, and been able to enter and manipulate the thoughts of others since I was 10, only 3 years ago. Before the age of 10, I had no friends, unless you count the number of books I had read while at the orphanage. The matron there allowed me to go to the nearby library whenever I pleased, as long as I stayed out of trouble, which was most of the time. However, the other times, a boy named Hunter often took the books away from me and threw them in puddles of mud, or ripped out the pages, or anything really you shouldn't do to books. Hunter often blamed me for his outbursts since I made it so easy for him, and I often told him I had read more books than words he knew. That always rose his temper. One day, though, our spats came to an abrupt end. I stumbled across a peculiar book on the magics of Mystra, and Hunter decided to make a meal out of it. Obviously, I furiously tried to take it away from him, but he used his size to his advantage and effortlessly pushed me into the mud. I stood there wordless as the boy ripped papers out of the book and shoved them into his gaping maw. A crowd had gathered to laugh at my expense, and to see if this boy could actually eat the book. I thought about hurting him. With all my effort, I thought about it as if it would in fact hurt him. To my surprise, he looked at me as blood came from his nose and eyes, and he slumped to the ground. I ran off into the streets as hushed whispers came from all over the crowd. I sat in an alleyway and cried. At the time, I was convinced I had just killed Hunter. I came back to the orphanage around midnight to find the matron and Hunter waiting for me. I was ready to accept my punishment, but nothing came from that incident other than Hunter never bothering with me again, or anyone for that matter. I began practicing my newfound power, usually just pestering people, or killing small pests with my mind. Till a year later, I saw a rather old man just waiting in an alley with two shady men hiding behind some boxes.
Toby is an overtly muscular and tall halfling. You have never seen a halfling of this height and girth before. At first glance, you would guess that he is a dwarf. However, the shaven face and knobby nose gives his race away quick. He has dark brown curly hair cut to stay out of his face. His continuous grimace makes him seem as though he's angry at everyone. However, once you get to know him, you notice that that's the way he always looks.
My name is TOBIAS. I was born and raised in the city of Loudwater. During my youth, I never excelled at anything in particular, not having the patience or the aptitude for the skill. When I came of age, I joined the military. I spent a number of years in service. Due to my temper, I was removed from service after several years. I found myself taking on mercenary jobs, protecting caravans and traveling merchants. Eventually this led me to the northwest, where I met Bernard.
Tipperton Thistledown is a halfling in a forest-colored cloak, which could easily double as camouflage. His hair is flaxen in color, and his eyes are green. He is average height for a halfling, but looks small when standing next to Toby.
My name is Tipperton Thistledown. I'm a halfling from the Misty Forest. I grew up there as an apprentice under my father. My mother died giving birth to my sister, who also did not survive. After they died, my father decided to work rather than raise me. However, I still took it upon myself to follow him into the deepest parts of the forests. Although I got lost many times, I always seemed to find my father again. Around my 20th birthday, my father passed in a skirmish with a band of orcs. I was, however, able to track them down and get my revenge. After that, I've been guiding lost travelers and pig guides through the forests ever since.
As twilight begins to cover the northern sky above the tiny hamlet of Olka, the villagers begin to light a fire in the center of town. As evening progresses, all 20 or so of the town's inhabitants crowd around the fire to hear a tale told by the town elder, Bernard. The old man with one eye sits down with an arthritic grunt. The man's face looks as though he has seen the action of 1,000 lifetimes. The deep lines of age and scars of battles long ago are exaggerated by Saloon's silver glow and the warm dancing lights of the fire. The 20 or so villagers go quiet when the old man slowly sits down. The old man leans over to listen to the quiet words of a young child sitting next to him. The old man grins and says, "Yes, of course, I would love to tell that tale again, but I just told that story the other night. How about the one time that I fought those bandits in Daggerford?" The little child's head wags back and forth in disapproval. "No? Well, how about the story about how Durhale, Keyleth, Tipperton, and Toby rescued the baker from the Calzone Golem?" The child's head, which never stops wagging, picks up speed in a comical way. Okay, I'll tell the tale of the keep on the Borderlands again. Years ago, I came to know a group of unique individuals who, through time and circumstance, I became very close with. Keyleth, a half-elf of noble birth from Baldur's Gate. He was dejected from his noble upbringing and took to the streets. I met him one evening in the streets of that infamous town, but that's another story. Tobias, of Loudwater, the halfling with a consistent grimace on his face, was once a part of a small, no pun intended, army of that small town. His abilities for combat were well suited for the military, however his temper was not, and he was promptly kicked out of his town. I ran into him in Daggerford, where he saved me and Keyleth from a group of bandits. Now are you sure you don't want to hear that story? Okay. Tipperton Thistledown I met while our party was seeking a bounty on an escaped criminal. All clues of the local thug's whereabouts pointed to the Misty Forest, south of Waterdeep. The dense pine forest threw us for a loop for days. Out of frustration, we sought out a local guide to help us orienteer in the dense forest. We met the halfling guide outside of his hut, negotiated a reasonable price, and the halfling proceeded to take us behind the small hut where he was living, and he already had the bandit tied up for us. What luck! His knowledge of the forest served us many times. The last of the group, Durhale, I met when he was a very young child. We were in the south ward of the massive city of Waterdeep. We were waiting outside the Temple of Ogma to be paid for escorting a caravan from Tribor to Waterdeep. Our wealthy benefactor finally showed up late. It's strange to say, but I began to hear a voice in my head. It said, "Don't trust this man." Then as he approached, the same voice said, "Look out behind you." I whipped my head around and saw two men with crossbows pointed right at us. Our benefactor laughed maliciously and told us that we're not going to get paid today. Before he finished his sentences, his eyes rolled back into his head and his nose shot out with blood, and all of his men ran. Come to find out, that young orphan kid named Durhale saved us with his strange powers. Owing the kid our lives, we adopted him. Keyleth, Tobias, Tipperton, Durhale, and myself set up shop in Red Larch. We mostly escorted caravans, however, there were many other interesting adventures worth listening to. As I began to get a little long in the tooth, I mostly ran the books, secured payment and employment. Then one day, I got word that my last relative, the leader of the small town of Olka, was on his deathbed. I left immediately and soon inherited the title of the town elder. 2 years later, I met my friends again. That's where our story begins. The morning sun crests over the horizon and greets the small town of Red Larch, melting one of the last morning frosts of the winter. As the town begins to stir, a large caravan makes its way from the east. Leading the way are the guards of the caravan, Keyleth, Toby, Tipperton, and Durhale. The motley crew staggers into town exhausted from the all-night trek from the Barge Ride Inn. But no bandits, so an exhausting but easy payday. The adventurers collect their money and shuffle off to their small house. Like zombies, they open the door without saying a word to each other and stumble into their bed. Durhale is the first to wake and notices they have mail, a small letter which has been slipped under the door. The letter is from Bernard. Excited, Durhale runs into each of his companions' rooms and with his psychic powers suddenly wakes them. Once everyone is awake, they gather in the main room, and together they begin to read the letter from their old mentor, for whom they have not seen in 2 years. The letter reads, "Greetings, old friends. It has been long since we have last spoken. I hope all has been well with each of you in the past few years since we have been apart. As for me, my knees have seemed to go out on me. The crunching sound they make is almost comical, and I would be laughing if it didn't hurt so much. Luckily for me, the people of Olka are kind and able-bodied to take care of me, and I try my best to lead them from my rocking chair. But enough about me. I will be very frank with you. I need your help. The goblinoid problem has gotten out of control. The road connecting Olka with the rest of the world, most importantly the keep on the Borderlands, is impassable to travel without getting attacked by goblins. This is the second time sending this letter. I pray to Time War that this one will make it through. I ask for your help not as a master to his pupils, but as a friend in need. Bernard Olka." After they read the note, they look at each other with startled expressions from hearing that their friend could be in danger. Without asking each other on what they should do, they simultaneously begin to pack up their gear to travel far, far to the north to the small town of Olka. To fund their travel, they escort a caravan north on the long road. This takes them through the town of Tribor and then through the town of Longsaddle, where they encounter a strange baker who sold them pastries of healing. But that's a story for another time. They finally make it to the great northern city of Mirabar. From there, they get work from a caravan master named Venko. They are tasked to escort Venko's caravan from Mirabar to the place mentioned in Bernard's letter, the keep on the Borderlands. The trek from Mirabar has been an uneventful but rough 3-day trek. You have been escorting a small 2-wagon caravan across the spring-thawing tundra. The backdrop is an awe-inspiring view of the Spine of the World Mountains, which looks like a masterwork painting. For the past few days, you have been walking down a small pathway that cuts through a massive swamp. You would expect a road through a bog to be muddy and fully saturated. However, the road is bone dry due to the raised roadbed, which is a few feet higher than the bog. This man-made gravel roadbed is also incredibly flat, a practical and well-engineered structure. This strange road has made for fairly easy travel, excluding the periodic roadblock caused by debris from the bog. Up ahead you notice a pile of logs in the middle of the road. It seems as though the marsh rises above the roadway periodically, bringing with it logs and other bog debris. This is not your first time you've seen debris in the middle of the road, as you have cleared over a dozen of these log piles in the past few days. The grizzled caravan leader Venko begins to slow his cart and yells at his boy to do the same to the second. He looks down at you and says, "Move the logs out of the way. No sign of bandits at all. But all these debris piles seem to keep you busy. That's what I call easy pay." You approach the pile without too much complaining, as this is the only thing that has broken the monotony of 3 days of straight walking. As you do, you hear a splash from the water from both sides of you. Greenish-colored, spindly, lizard-looking humanoids pop out of the marsh with javelins in their hands and let them fly in your direction. All right, so first goes the lizardmen. This one's going to be at Toby. It misses. It hits the small embankment. This is about approximately 3 foot up this little bank. Completely missing Toby. The next one's going to be at Tipperton. 10 misses. This one's going to be at Durhale. 19. 19 probably hits you, I'm guessing.
Yes.
All right. Doing a total of 5 damage.
Okay.
To Durhal. Now this one, of course, is going to be equal opportunity lizards. And completely missing the Keyleth. Now we are going to go to the next, to top of initiative, which is the lizardmen again.
No surprise. What's a
16 for Toby.
Yeah.
Total of 4 damage to Toby. Oh man. So for Keyleth, does 13 beat your AC?
It is my AC.
Excellent, excellent. All right. Everybody else completely, they whiffed completely. Doing a total of 3 damage. All right. This one right here is going to jump off, swim over. They have, you can tell they naturally swim in the water incredibly well. If you could reach the forerun on this side, and it's going to go right here. All right, it goes to the next person, Keyleth. Keyleth with a 16.
Is that brush pile enough to hide?
If you're on the opposite side of it, so if you were on this side of it, I'd be perfectly fine with that.
That is what I'm going to do. To move that is within.
It is considered difficult terrain, so that will take double move to get across, but that shouldn't be much of an issue for you.
Okay.
However, you're definitely not hidden from this guy right here.
Alright. Is that double movement? Do I still have my attack option?
So
If you double move, no.
Yeah.
15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Almost. Yeah.
Okay.
You could hide here, and that would be hiding from this guy, which is which wouldn't actually would allow you to be able to attack, of course.
What did you say?
If you were to hide right here, you could hide from this guy alone,
And I would be able
and
to
you
do
would
this.
actually be able to do an attack.
Yeah, will you do that for me? That's what I will do.
All right, excellent. Go ahead. And which one are we attacking?
That guy. And I guess I should make my hide roll first. Or is that? God damn it.
I don't think you've
Too many actions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It'd get cover.
I'm still going to take a fire
Yep.
from take a shot off it.
Okay, go ahead.
18.
18 definitely hits.
It's 10 damage.
10 damage. Excellent. All right. So then we're going to go to Durhale at 15.
I'm going to activate as a bonus action my... I think it's Psychic Disruption. Let me double check. Psychic Assault. Where is it at? There it is. Then the nearest one to me, so that one.
All right.
I make an intelligence saving throw.
All right. They are not going to be good at that. A 6.
Yeah, definitely not.
They have a negative.
Mind thrust, so it's 1d10. That's 10 points of damage.
10 points of damage. Excellent. Right.
Then I am going to move closer to Toby.
And you can definitely tell as far as its reaction. You did some damage to it, a hefty amount. So much so that it doesn't really know where that came from. It shakes its head a few times and then goes back to its lizard business. Now we're going to go to Tipperton. Tipperton's turn. He's isolated on one side. However, there is Vinco, who is right here on the top of this this caravan here.
I'll go ahead and attack the closest one with my spear.
All right.
6.
No, that definitely does miss.
Damn.
All right, so now it is the big guy, or the small guy, Toby.
Wow. I'm going to rage.
All right,
I'm going to plant myself right between those two over there.
right here.
Yep. I will attack. So it's matter one on my left.
Excellent. And
That is a natural 20, sir.
that definitely does hit. You did damage to this one, correct?
No, I did damage to the other one.
to this one. Okay, excellent. And you're attacking this one, correct?
Yes, with
okay,
my grace.
excellent.
All right. So natural 20. That's 9 times 2, so 18 plus.
18. All right. So
18 plus 4.
You kill it.
you cleave into the side of the lizard person, and it kind of goes partway through its underbelly, and it looks at you with cold, beady eyes, and then just slumps off into the gravel.
Off my blade.
All right. Now we're gonna go back to the top with the lizard men, lizard peoples. And this is far to the north, so this is a very strange thing. As far as lizards being this north, but we'll talk about that later. So this guy right here, he has a club. He's going to go ahead and 9, 12, 13. 13. Does that beat your AC?
That does not.
Oh, excellent. All right. So now this one here. Oh no, he's throwing a javelin. 16.
That hits.
All right. 8 damage.
I am down.
Down. The lizard scaly creature throws one at Durhale, and it hits him square in the shoulder, taking him down. Everybody is well aware of this, and it is alerting. All right. Now we're going to go to this one right over here. He's going to go ahead and you're out of the way. He's going to swim over. He's not going to take your cover for anything. And he's going to go ahead and attack you with a great club. Keyword. Roll a 2. No. All right. And he swings and misses and hits this pile of logs, looking up at you with his beady, lizardy eyes. And so I got that one, and that one. All right. Now we're going to go back to Keyleth. Keyleth's turn.
It's disadvantage to shoot with my bow at that distance, is it?
Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I'm going to drop my bow and whip out my rapier and attack him. Natural 1.
All right, you do not look good while you're doing it. The lizard person thinks that he can take you now. All right, now we're going to go to the next person. It's Durhale's turn.
I failed. One failure.
All right, one failure. Now we're going to go to Tipperton. Tipperton's turn.
Just go ahead and try to attack that one again.
All right.
14.
14. That actually hits. That hits him. Yep.
3 damage.
3 damage. That is something. All right. So the lizardman takes 3 damage. What sort of weapon do you have? Spear. All right. So you actually hit him in his shin, almost at his kneecap. All right. Now we're gonna go to Toby. Toby's turn.
I have no way to heal you outside of those little hot pocket things. So I'm gonna go and attack the guy in front of me. Hopefully we don't have any other party members go down. That is gonna be a 14.
14. That does hit.
That is 12 points of damage.
12 points. All right. So 12 alone.
It's 15 total.
50, yeah, I know. Yeah, you cleave him in his other good leg, and he looks at you, and you don't know what a lizard would look like if he were scared, but he definitely, this is what you would assume. His leg is completely mashed up. All right, now we're gonna go back to the top of the lizardmen. He's going to continue throw javelins. This one's going to be at Toby here, and this one's going to attack you there. This one is actually going to get out of there. He is going to take a disengage action, and these are basically little islands here, places where you could actually stand, and of course all of this is actual marsh. So this is a double move, this is regular movement. However, for lizard people, they have no problem with marshes. And he's going to jump up there, and that's his full action. This one right here is going to throw one at Toby. 12? No. And then here's a Keyleth. And it misses Keyleth. All right, so it's, of course, Keyleth's turn.
Rapier again. 13. That's barely, but no, 14 is his AC, so he missed. Yeah, almost. All right, now it's Durhale. Roll those saves.
That's pass.
Pass.
One fail, one pass.
Excellent, excellent. All right, now we're going to go to Tipperton's turn. Remember people who have medicine. Hopefully somebody has medicine.
I do not.
Is that a
I'm
pass?
-1, sir.
I'm
never
the only one with medicine.
Oh, okay.
I have +2 in medicine.
Yeah,
Okay,
okay,
well,
you can
there
do
you
it
go.
on train.
You can do it on train. Yeah, you just don't have a bonus. All right.
I'm gonna take a knee, set my spear down, and draw out my bow and shoot at the one that ran away.
All right.
Yeah. 13.
13, and that actually misses. All right, now we're going to go to Toby.
I'm gonna turn and get this other kid. I'll shove a pocket down his throat.
Pastry.
Pastry?
Pocket.
All right.
It's a pocket pastry.
You, it's a very strange thing to do because you've never done this before. Go ahead and roll.
Are we doing the 1d8 or are you doing the 2d4? Like
2d4 is better.
potion?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine.
And I believe it's +2 for that. And that doubles for each potion type. So 4, 5, 6.
6. He is standing back up.
You owe me a pocket or a pastry.
What?
All right, so back to the lizard people. And this is on Keyleth. 16?
Yep.
All right. 7 damage. Down. All right. So now we're going to go to Keyleth. So go ahead and roll your first save. Pass. We have a pass. All right. Now we're going to go to Durhale's turn.
The one on Keyleth, make an intelligence saving throw.
No.
All right. 7 points of damage.
7 points. Excellent. All right. Now, there.
Now I'm going to move.
I'm not going to stay there, just so you know.
I'll take a pocket.
He doesn't know that.
I've already used one for
Durham
myself,
doesn't know
one
that?
for him, and I'm running low on pockets.
Now it is Tipperton.
I'll make another shot.
I'm the guy who's supposed to be dealing damage.
No, okay. I flew wide and didn't even hit the island. All right. Now we're going to go to Toby. It's Toby's turn. This guy here is pretty menacing.
Did I get attacked last time? Did they attack me? The javelins?
Yeah, I did not roll. I didn't roll. Yeah.
Well, I'm just making sure because I lose my rage if they didn't.
Yeah, they definitely did. Yeah.
Okay. Oh wait, no. Do I have to take damage? Or
You have to take damage or deal an attack yourself.
I didn't.
So I lost my rage.
Okay. No, I didn't hit you, but
Yeah. All right. I'll just turn around. I'm gonna attack the one that's right there.
All right,
We'll do that
excellent.
without rage. That sucks. That is a 16 to hit.
oh yeah,
8, 9, 10 points of damage.
10 points of damage. He, you hit him under it. So they're kind of lurching creatures that kind of have a hunched over head. You do an uppercut to his jaw, knocking him back into the swamp, down the rocky hillside alongside of each of the embankment there. All right, now it goes back to lizard people's turn. This one continues to run away. This one definitely had his eye on Toby's mighty swing, and he jumps into the water. Sploosh. Technically, we have broken initiative.
Okay. I go over.
Go ahead and give me another death saving throw because you're technically next. Pass. All right.
I'll go over to him and do a medicine check to see stabilize him.
All right. Excellent.
That will definitely pass. That's like a 21.
All right. So you open your eyes to see the young child Durheil above you. Yeah.
Thanks, little buddy.
Of course, and thank you for the pastry. Not pocket. Pastry.
So Vinco gets off of his horse. He's been trying to keep the horses calm this entire time, and he actually comes over to you guys, and he says, "Well, I'm glad I spent the gold on you guys. Let's." If you guys need to take a break, I completely understand, but I do need those logs moved eventually.
Thanks, but get back to work.
Of course.
We're doing our job.
I'll take a perception check real quick just to make sure there's nothing else in the area.
Okay.
That's like a 11. I don't know. Yeah, just to see if there's anything else in the area.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, you scan the scene. There's nothing on any side. You don't see anything. You can definitely tell that if they're underwater, if anything. So yeah.
The pastries are 2d4 plus 2. Is that what it was?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm taking one. 5.
Okay. Excellent.
I started out with 1 hit point when I'm revived, right?
Yeah.
Alrighty. I guess I'll start moving the logs out of the way.
All right. It takes you a good. Those logs are pretty hefty. It takes
the
you.
bodies too.
Oh yeah. They have a. And you find them kind of scattered throughout. You do find a total of, I would say 7 javelins. You could never sell this javelin to anybody in your life, but they're definitely usable javelins if you want 7 javelins. Also, they each have a heavy, or a great club. Yeah, a great club. Or heavy club is what it is. All right. Other than that, of
Good
course...
work on those logs, Toby.
No thanks to you.
Gotta use them little big muscles for
Gotta
something.
save you and do all the heavy lifting.
And you continue on. You actually continue on the trail. So let's go ahead and so where this occurred on the map, and let's go ahead and get the map out. I'll place that on the screen later. You can keep that in front of you. Really, you are right at the very beginning of the map, the very entrance. All of that green area is actually a swamp. And this roadbed. So there's a few different things. One thing is everybody give me an intelligence check.
Ooh.
A DC of 15 is the minimum, but if you get higher,
Wow.
bonus.
The one person that should get the... What, is it a certain kind of intelligence check?
Usually, if you have nature, I'll allow you to sub nature for a different thing.
That'd be a 15 then.
Okay, 15?
14.
14? All right.
21.
You
So-
don't want to know.
Yes, I do, actually.
That is a
2. All right. So for everybody above a 15, you think it is very strange that there are lizard people this far up north, as far as how lizard people tend to be in more southern climates. So yeah, that's very unusual. And for the person that got above 20, you've never seen any lizard person like this before. These are very scrawny. The only lizard people you've ever seen are stocky and bulky and bigger. So it is an unusual thing. So yeah, I'm guessing we're continuing on our way.
yeah, no need to dawdle.
All right. So go ahead and count how many squares it is to get. You of course. It's currently 12 o'clock. So now you would be able to move 10 hex squares until you actually have to camp. All right. Excellent. Vinco's gonna say, I think we should push on through night if you guys agree.
If there's lizard folk around, I don't think that's a great idea.
I do not think so either.
At
I
least to
would
get out
think-
of the marsh, you
I
know.
need a rest.
Well, I mean, if their home is the marsh, we might as well push on to get out of the marsh. They probably won't follow us much
I mean, if
further.
we only go until out of the marsh, I can...
How many marsh? How many more marsh?
How many
squares
miles do we
have?
got?
Yeah.
Tipperton?
About 6.
6. Ooh, that'd be hiking most of the night.
Typical pace is about 2 miles an hour for walk speeds
Yeah.
for most normal people.
Well, and this is actually
that'd be
going
another 3 hours.
slower. So
You guys are
Oh.
25, right?
Oh, I'm just meaning in general, like actual people, common walk pace is about 2 miles an hour.
yeah, well, we're currently moving 20 because we have caravans
Oh.
and all sorts of stuff. So, so yeah, he says, I guess if you guys think it's safe, we can camp here.
Can we take short rests resting on the caravans?
You would definitely have a short rest. Yeah, and actually, if you want to take back that biscuit that you ate, I'll allow you to, because you could just take a short rest after that.
Oh, okay.
Because you don't have a healer.
That's why
Yeah.
That's why I healed you with medicine rather than
Yeah.
waste of pastry.
Um,
Well, I mean, we could go through the night, but we're gonna attract attention.
it's true.
Now, if we're not going to make it, we might as well set up and
What do you
camp
think,
if
oh,
we're not going
Tiptoe?
to make it all the way out.
I was calling you Tiptoe, Ian.
What's your suggestion, guide?
Oh, Master of the Wilds.
Hardly. Especially in shitty swamps. Are we able to find an area that's semi-clear that would have enough room for the wagons? Or is it mainly all just...
It's basically this, and just to give a little bit better description of this road bed, have you ever seen a trail or a train bed? How they're on both sides they have sloping like gravel going down the sides. This is definitely a man-made structure because there should never be a road going through a bog like this. So it's actually a raised road bed. So no, there might be some place where there might be a little patch of earth or something that you could pull off. Maybe every few hours of walking, you might find something like that, giving it a little bit larger area. But
I'd say find a spot like that and then we can stop.
And I'm guessing we're doing some sort of watches or something.
Yeah.
I was trying to look. Half Elf doesn't have that sleeping meditation thing.
I don't
right?
believe so.
Just elf.
No, just elf. But you still benefit from not being able to be charmed or
Yeah, my
put to
Feyans.
sleep via magic.
My Fey ancestry.
So over the night, you guys take watch. Nothing happens. It's very uneventful and very, very quiet in the bog, which is very eerie. You wake up the next day, no problem. All right. And I'm guessing we're going to continue on.
Yep.
So, of course, you move 20 throughout the entire day.
Don't you think it's a bit odd that lizard folk are up farthest north?
I don't know what you're talking about. They're everywhere.
They are everywhere, but they usually don't have it this far north.
I'm not from up here. I have no idea.
20. 20 is your total.
The books I've read have told me that they only stay towards the southern regions because they can't. Well, their metabolism can't handle it.
Vinco goes, I've never seen lizard folk up this far north.
I've never seen him this scrawny.
I don't read books.
What do you mean scrawny?
Well, most of the lizard men that I've seen are bulky and big and tough, and I'm actually kind of surprised that one took me down.
I've never seen a picture of lizard folk nor their anatomy, so I wouldn't know for sure.
Well, definitely, it's strange that they're up here, but maybe that has something to do with how small they are.
Be a little counterproductive to be up this far north and be such a small body structure, though.
Maybe something's pushing them up this north. Maybe it's only just taking over the territory.
All right, so how
That's
far do we
very
make?
astute observation there,
First.
Toby.
Connection point to
I'm
the
not
roadway.
stupid.
Oh,
I just
how
don't
far-
know. I don't have very good decision-making power.
How many squares to
I
the
never
keep?
called you stupid, Toby.
He's got
The keep is the little
3.
3 hours of 3. Yeah, Vinco's gonna push on. He's gonna say, "We're almost there. We might as well keep on going. The road north is to Olka. We got to get this we got to get this to the keep here, and then we can let you go, and I can pay you."
I'm more than happy to press on so I can sleep in a bed.
Faster the better.
So yeah, you continue on, and of course, once you actually get there, it'd be like twilight-ish, is what it would be. So you're actually able to.
You're gonna take 2 days off of this right now?
Oh yeah, go ahead and so there was one day, and this would be the second. So now it is the 2nd of Myrtle, 1491 DR. All right, so you actually make it to the keep, and just enough to where you're able, and this is actually, if you look at the moon, the moon's out right now, so you're able to see out pretty well. Here's what you see.
You're walking along the dirt road which cuts across the plains. To the north you see the spine of the world mountains dwarfing the flatlands in front of you. While you have all seen mountains in the lands of the south, you have never seen mountains of this size. The mountains in the south are a beautiful sight to behold, but this mountain range is much taller and capped with snow and instills a feeling of fear and awe. The spine of the world mountains are impassable and much more deadly than the fiercest dragon. You would even guess that a dragon couldn't even traverse this wall of rock and ice that covers the horizon. As you make your way down the road, you eventually see a speck on the top of a small hill. It slowly begins to get bigger as you approach. A 3-story ancient stone tower surrounded by a wooden palisade. A group of 3 men stand outside the gate wearing shoddy equipment.
All right, now let's go ahead and move this. And this is the keep on the Borderlands. So yeah, basically, as far as where these mountains are that I described, because they're far off the map, but of course, being mountains, you can see them miles and miles away. So you're here at the keep on the Borderlands. They're way up here, essentially, if I were to continue the map all the way up. So you're able to, that's what I was describing as far as the mountain range goes. There's a mountain range that just goes right across the top of this map, which, as far as this thing goes here, this is on a butte, or on a half a butte, basically. So these right here, this is an impassable cliff. You could not climb this if you, maybe with a climbing kit or something like that. These are a wooden palisade that goes all the way around. I guess not a palisade because you can't walk on top. Basically, logs that have been lashed together is what they are. They look incredibly old. Here is, what do they call that? Plowed fields, a small shack or so. And, of course, 2 guards standing outside with shoddy equipment. And you guys, of course, are the guys who are leading the caravan. Vinco's driving a car, and then his boy behind him is driving the other cart, the smaller cart. So yeah, you come up to a group of anybody have military backgrounds?
Well, I have a town guard background.
Give me I'll just go ahead and give it to you, since you actually have that. You can tell that these guys have really horrible equipment. The equipment on these people are just horrible. But yeah, go up and talk to them if you want. The gate is closed. It is twilight.
And they went outside, or they're all up behind it?
This was our destination, wasn't it?
Yeah, this is your first destination. So basically, you went from Mirabar, which is way down there where Brandon's sitting, and to the keep on the Borderlands here, and that was basically just to pay your way here. So you were escorting a caravan to the area. You're wanting to go to Olka. You actually don't. You know it's somewhere around the keep on the Borderlands. You don't exactly know where it is, but this is your first destination. And of course, you each will be getting 5 gold for escorting the caravan. So, and of course, you guys got food for the whole entire time you were up there. So basically, you paid your way getting here. So yeah, you guys are standing right here. There's 2 guards standing there.
Hail, we've come to deliver goods.
They you can all tell that they look tired. They look incredibly beat. He says, who are you? Why are you coming so late?
Tobias, well, we were set upon by lizard creatures on the way here in the marshes. Kind of delayed us.
Oh, you're having problems with those too, huh?
Yeah.
Give me a wisdom check, and the DC is very low.
I have a -1. Oh, well. That's a 17 with a -1.
They're being incredibly unprofessional, is what they are being.
Oh yeah.
You would snap to attention a little bit more. You can tell they're being paid right now, and they're not acting like it. They say, so what are you bringing in? It's and I said it in the description. It's a combination of salt, cloth.
Okay.
And it is basically just consumer goods is what it is. Nothing worth a lot of money.
Trading goods, supplies that may be needed for this, for your encampment here. Food, clothing, just materials to keep you alive.
He says, "That's good enough for me. Go ahead and he should have looked over what you brought bringing in." So he opens the gate. The other guy actually goes, and while you're he actually sits down here, very, very unprofessional-like. They open the gate, and you can see inside. This is the description for the inside of the keep. It is there's barely any light out right now. The sun is going down, and here it is. As you enter the wooden walls, you can see how disheveled the fort is. The buildings are old and made of wood which is in desperate need of repair. The only true stone structure stands to one side of the fort, overlooking a steep cliff which serves as one of the walls of the fort. This stone tower is what they call the keep on the Borderlands. It is a 3-story tall and seems to be made of one continuous piece of stone. The defensive walls on the top of the keep have crumbled away with time. This keep is ancient, even in the eyes of the long-living elves and dwarves. No one knows how old the keep is, but in Mirabar you've heard rumors that it was created by the great ancient Nithriel Empire over 4,000 years ago. This was an ancient empire which our knowledge of is hazy at best, even for scholars. A few of their literary works have trickled down through time. These literary works have been recopied over and over again for thousands of years to reach us, or found in palimpsests in libraries. All of the walls are made of thick timbers which were lashed together. They must be decades old by their look. Inside the walls you can see over a dozen old wooden buildings. You obviously see that there is a blacksmith, an inn, stables, a provisioner, a chapel dedicated to Lathander, and a brewery. There is a second wall inside the first one which protects the keep, a granary, and a barracks. In the center of the town is an ancient, beautiful fountain, which is also made of a single stone, much like the keep. It sits off kilter in the ground. This is no problem, though, because it would appear that this fountain hasn't had water flowing from it in ages. All right. So yeah, you are now inside. Vinco parks his deal right here. You can see everybody out here. Is that okay? There are actually people out here, and you can see they're openly just drinking something, some sort of ale of some sort. And it looks like townfolk are out here. a small gnome comes out of the provisioner and begins to talk to Vinco. After he's done doing that, Vinco comes up to you and he says, "Well, you guys have earned your pay. Here you go. And here, go ahead and here's a little bit of a little bit of extra food for you. We overpacked last time. Each of you get 5 gold."
Yeah.
All right.
Cool. And how much food is just for the night?
One day, an extra day. And of course, you've actually already eaten currently. So yeah, all of the town folk definitely are staring at you guys, standing around here. So yeah.
So where's our next destination?
It's
Olka.
It's called Olka.
We're going to Olka.
How far away is that?
We don't know.
Gotta
we
find
need
out.
to ask in town.
And
Well, I'm
everybody's
gonna walk up to someone who's drinking and just, hey, how far is Olka from here?
one of let's
Just a random person sitting out there. Yeah.
You walk up to a guy in priest robes, and he says, "Well, of course, it's up north. Who are you?"
Just guards to the caravan that just came in.
Oh, excellent. We need more of those for sure.
Yeah.
By the way, my name's Liam, priest of Lathander. You can tell he has kind eyes, red pale hair, and he's speaking to you in you're speaking in Chondathan right now, which is your guys' native language. You guys speak Aluskan completely fluently with an accent. You can tell he's definitely from the south. If you guys want to give, you can go ahead and give me a wisdom check to see if you want to find out where he's from his dialect, from how he's speaking. If you want, it's not that big of a deal if you don't.
19.
Oh, 19. Okay, anything above a 15. 18. You can tell he's from. He's definitely not that far south. He's from Neverwinter. You can tell by his the way he rolls his vowels, and he says, "So, why are you needing to go to Olka? You know, you don't want to go up that direction. It's pretty dangerous right now."
We're meeting someone that we know up in Olka. We've been summoned there.
Oh, who's that?
Bernard?
Oh, yeah, Bernard, of course. I think the man can't travel too far, but, he's definitely there, I can tell you that. He kind of looks at all of you guys, and then he looks at the child, and he goes, I don't mean to be strange, but is this child yours? I'm assuming not.
I have my own.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm sorry to ask. But of course, if any of you wish to come to the temple tomorrow, of course we're going to have a ceremony at sunrise. You're more than welcome to join if you wish. Definitely go over there and get some ale if you want. I mean, I'm assuming you got paid.
Yes, we did.
I'm drinking.
Excellent. All right. Well, it's good to meet you all. And it's a very small town here, so definitely make sure to make friends with everybody. They're a very kind bunch. He leaves off to the Temple of Lathander there.
I shout out from him. There
It's
is
the
always
brewer.
another dawn.
He says, "Yes, my son, yes. And we will see you next dawn." He's assuming that you're going to his church, since, and he said, "I is the brewer." So that's the Temple of Lathander. That's the brewer. You can see that the brewer it's not a place where you go drink. You drink outside, kind of as dusk sets in, is apparently what everybody's doing. The brewer has a window open, and you actually just walk up and buy ale if you wish. So yeah, what are we doing?
Can I buy ale?
Yeah, of course.
Oh man.
As a 12-year-old?
Yeah,
They don't care in this
they
day
don't
and
know.
age.
It's all good.
It just takes one.
Sure
to
you
get
can
me
reach
Yeah,
faster.
exactly.
reach the counter, you little man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey,
So what are we doing?
I
Who are you
stand
talking
higher
to?
than the halflings, okay?
So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, outside of drinking and just wait until it actually gets the night.
Well, you got to buy the ale first. I think is the main thing.
But it's free. No, that's fine. I mean,
The shop
buy a couple, but
would be closed at this moment, wouldn't it?
There's
Or the
not necessarily.
purveyor, what'd you say?
He's actually standing
Provisioner.
outside. There, he's loading off
Provisioner.
carts. So yeah, if you want to go talk to him,
I'm
it's
gonna
perfectly fine.
Go over there and talk to the provisioner.
Oh yeah. After a while, he you can hear Venko yelling at the boy that he has,
With
and
my beer in hand.
and he the beer ale costs one copper. Real.
Oh, that's cheap.
That's really nice. You can also tell it is a unique. It has a weird taste to it. You can see the small gnome provisioner approaching you. And he says, hello, you're one of the guards that were guarding my shipment here. I heard you had problems with lizard people.
Yes, we did have a lot of trouble with these skinny lizards. You guys get those up here a lot?
Well, not normally on the trail there. I mean, we've been normally having them, talk to the people from Lullaby, and they're definitely having problems. But no, that's unusual that they'll actually go up on the roadbed. Watch, keep your eyes out now. We're gonna. It's unfortunate because it's in every direction now. This is absolutely getting ridiculous.
How about to the road north? We're heading up to Olka.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Troubles up there?
Well, no, yeah, of course. That's probably one of the. It's the closer road that we're having trouble with. But yeah, it'll probably take a few days here, and I'll actually give you a piece of the map. He gives you a detailed description of, because apparently you.
I was just about to ask for it.
Yeah. He can tell that you don't know where you're going, so he gives you, and here is the second piece of the map. The fog of war opens. And he gives you a detail. He's like, oh yeah, you're gonna have to cross this river, but before you cross the river, you're most likely gonna run into goblins. There's probably three out of 4 times I bring people up there. I get attacked by goblins. Either we run away or we lose the caravan. It doesn't matter.
What kind of terrain are we looking at up there? Is the road good, or is that little raised marsh bed wasn't so fun to travel through?
Oh well, you're gonna be running through the forest, so you're gonna be just fine, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's as long as it's not raining consistently, you're gonna have a pretty good time. So, but no, except for the goblins. But it seems like you guys can swing a sword.
Well, I speak goblin, so that's my nobleness coming out.
Where did you learn goblin?
I speak goblin.
Says, how do you know goblin?
I'm from Baldur's Gate. I was raised.
You're from that far south?
Yes, sir.
Huh.
I've been all over the place.
Says, well, it's good to meet you. My name is, and you can tell he's also a southerner. He's been speaking to you. He addressed you in Eluskan. So he says, my name is Bellinan Hollystrap. Or Sharp. Holly Sharp. And he has a knobby nose, and he's dressed like a southerner for sure. He's a gnome.
There's an elegant name, sir, but quite the mouthful.
Of course,
My
of
name
course.
is Caleb.
It's a little bit easier to say. I understand. Were you needing to buy anything?
Oh, what do we got?
Well,
I
preferably.
know we just kind of stocked you up now, didn't we?
Well, yeah. That I can open the shop today. However, it'd be a lot more cleaner in the morning. Are you guys staying the night?
Are you guys with me, or did I walk over there?
Yeah. Where's
Probably.
everybody going? So.
I was actually going back to the temple.
Okay. Yeah. The temple is definitely open. It's always open.
Yeah, I'm kind of just drinking and chilling.
Okay.
What did you do?
But yeah,
Ian?
we'll go ahead
He
and.
lights everything on fire.
I'm just looking at the statue in the center of town, waiting on the guys to see what we're going to do for the night.
Okay. So we're going to go to the Temple of Lathander first. So yeah, what do you do? The temple's completely open. The shrine, the what do they call that thing in the center? The altar. The altar is open. You can donate, or of course you can pray at the temple. And there's a stained glass window on the back side.
Okay. I'll go up to that priest again.
Okay. Yeah. As he sees you going toward the temple, he goes in there also. And he says, "Are you wishing to pray at the altar?"
I will in due time. I do have a quick question for you. How long has, and forgive me, I'm not from these parts, but how long has that well been dried up?
He says, "Let's go look." It's the well has never seen water. I mean, it's when it gets rained in is the last time it's seen water. But go ahead and give me an intelligence check. For you, it's going to be a very low DC. I'll tell you that.
Would it matter which intelligence, or is just
Oh yeah,
history?
if you have history, that.
I've been trained in all intelligence. So.
Okay, no, yeah. You go ahead and give me a history check, I guess.
Cool. That'd be a 23.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're gonna get all the knowledge. So the thing with that is that, and I gave it a blank description in the description there, as I said, it is one piece of stone. It's not one piece of stone. You're actually able to go up to it and see it is what you would now know as modern concrete. You wouldn't know that as a person in Faerun, because that has not been discovered yet. However, you know for sure that the ancient Nethril Empire, 2,000 years ago is when it fell. They did have. You don't know exactly how concrete worked exactly, but they apparently had it, and that is an ancient, and it's even tilted to the side. It's just that's how old it is. It's off kilter. It probably had magic flowing water, is what you're guessing. But he says that's never seen water in there.
Okay, because I was just asking because most things from the Nethril Empire would still be working still.
He says, "Well, that's been sitting there for a long time. It's a beautiful thing, though." But yeah. Now I'm assuming you're going to come to Dawn Services.
I will come, but Lathander's not one I follow. Mistra guides me through my actions.
Mistra, oh yeah, Mistra. Mistra is a wonderful goddess. I mean, he says, "Is there anything else I can do for you?" He just wants to welcome you in his temple because he saw you go there and he bolted in there a little bit too. And he says, "Is there anything else I can do for you?" Or
well, I was going to make a small donation for your patronage.
Oh, he says that is thank you. Yeah. He hands you the offering plate. It's a thing to where you can put your offer in without seeing how much somebody sitting next to you seeing how much you put in.
Okay.
So
I put it in gold piece because I have no real concept of money.
Okay, yeah. Ka-clink. And he says, "Thank you very much." He says, "If tomorrow at dawn we're going to have a small feast here, so you're of course more than welcome."
Thank you.
And he leaves you be. Now we're going to go back to the provisioner. So the provisioner,
He asked me if he wanted to open up, or said it'd be a lot cleaner in the morning.
he says that I'd have a lot more things unpacked and everything here, especially with the stuff that you brought here. But we open at dawn, of course.
Right on. Yes.
That's
Right on, dude. I think we're going to be staying until morning. I'm going to go check with my companions and maybe seek some accommodations for the evening. Is there an inn here in town? I haven't...
Yeah, of course. You definitely want to be talking to. What's her name?
I go back to the well, by the way.
Okay. Her actually name is Madeline. Madeline is her name, and she is a tall, a halfling lady with very halfling lady. There's as you're scanning the scene here, there's only one halfling lady, so you're pretty sure that is the one.
You mean I don't mistake Mighty Strike?
No, yeah. It's
I'm very manly.
intelligence check. No.
While I'm there too, I'm going to be like taking notes on it and
Okay.
hitting it a little bit.
Okay, sketching it and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can definitely tell that this is definitely Nethril, and the keep itself is Nethril. Everything else is human-made and utter crap in comparison. Everything's made of wood, except for those two things. And every building here and the fort itself, the walls, it needs to be replaced. All of the wood needs to be replaced soon. Should have been done 5 years ago. So
I'm going to walk my way over to the deal, where he's at.
Okay.
That's where you're at, and I just kind of nudge everybody or wave at everybody to kind of come over. And then I'll say, so I talked to the shopkeep, and he gave me this map. I'll hand it to you.
he didn't give you a map. He just gave you a description. Is what he did. Map would be expensive. No, I mean it's pretty simple. It's go north this many miles. You're gonna have a turn here. There's a river, and you cross the river, and you're there. So yeah, really, all this is a mental map, is what it would be.
Okay. Well, fine. He didn't give me a map, but He did give me a good description and described it's a pretty good road up ahead, and he says we're more than likely, probably absolutely, going to run into some goblins running up north. I suggest we talk to this fine little halfling lady. I wink at both of you, too. And she seems to be the keeper of the inn. And maybe we should stay the night. Get us a good start in the morning. Hit the shops. Maybe cut some of that feast.
How do you know about the feast?
Because he said there was going to be a ceremony. Isn't there normally food at ceremonies?
No, there's not.
Oh.
Sadly.
Well, that's sad.
Yeah.
So there is going to be a
I'm
feast.
surprised you're able to hear us from so far away.
We waved everyone over.
No, I mean I was there at the beginning when the first guy was talking to us.
You can see the halfling's decently near you if you want to talk to her. She's actually she's going from here and she's crossing, going back to her inn. Is where she's going.
I nudged Tipperton. Go get her.
Nah.
What? Go talk to her. Let's get some rooms.
Oh. Okay.
He won't.
But I'm also obviously joking at you to go hit on her.
I think he wishes
I'm
to go after her to procreate with her.
Thanks, Durhill. You never miss a thing.
You're welcome.
Why would you want someone that small? You're so large.
Not me, for you. She's halfling. You're halfling.
That's racist.
Maybe you guys can share a halfling-sized room.
Oh, shut up. And I walked over.
I'm just still sketching out the well during this entire time.
No, I'll go ahead and kind of lightly jog to catch up to her and say, ma'am.
Just hey, hey, you're with the caravan. Oh, yeah. What can I do for you?
Do you happen to have some rooms available tonight?
You just caught me. I was just about to go in for the night. Of course. How about for you guys? And she looks over you guys and she says, "How about 8 copper a night? Cutting you a deal here. You're with Vinco. He always brings people."
6. Oh, you said 6 copper.
Oh no, 8 copper. 8 copper is it?
8 copper.
Yeah, 8 copper,
Okay.
which is
I won't haggle.
That's
for
a
copper.
crazy
That's
deal.
a crazy deal. Normally, it's like, normally it's
I
like a
won't
silver or
haggle
two.
Yeah, it's in the silver is what it would normally be. And really it's just because she's assuming that you're going through is probably what she's assuming. She doesn't know that you're done. You're
Totally would have had her, though. But yeah, I won't haggle the copper. Sounds good to me.
okay. Yeah, you guys cash out your copper, go in to sleep for the night. Thank you for watching Keep on the Borderlands. Once again, please like and subscribe to Opportunity Attacks so you never miss an episode.